Hi everybody and welcome back to Lockdown Kitchen. Tonight I'm doing coq au vin. I've jumped a day ahead, sorry, because later this week I'm not going to be available to do any classes. So I've decided to do one tonight and one tomorrow. So anyway, coq au vin for my Auntie Anne in Australia. She's requested this. So I've got a pan on, nice and hot. Putting some olive oil in. It's my nice Alessi copper pan. Okay, I'm adding the chicken thighs. I've got 3 of those. Could have more, but that's all I've got. I've got a takeaway tomorrow night. So 1 for me, 1 for the takeaway, and 1 for a pasta al forno to make some leftover sauce, which will be very yummy. Got a bit of breast there, but I'll put that in later so it doesn't overcook. Just cleaning that. Okay, so the other ingredients in coq au vin: got onion, lardons, garlic, bay leaf, thyme, chicken stock cube, mushrooms, which I'll cut up in a minute, some baby onions because they're always fun to have in the sauce, a can of tomatoes, some red wine, and a bit of flour to thicken the sauce. Okay, so I'm just unwrapping this. Continuing those to stir. Okay, I'm going to add the onions. And the lardons. I've been crying while I was peeling the onions, so I've piped up the glasses on. So they're pretty strong. Hello, Chris. So I'm just stirring the onions and lardons around, getting them coated in a bit of olive oil. You can see that's how it looks in the pan. Yummy, yummy. So having a French dinner tonight. And Italian tomorrow night with the leftovers. Okay, I'm going to add the thyme, bay leaves, and the garlic. Give that a bit of a stir. Lovely. Okay, that also has salt and pepper in it, like everything I make, pretty much. So a good sprinkle of pepper and salt. This dish is really nice served with pasta or pommes dauphinoise or boiled new potatoes. Lots of things you can have it with. Hello Hilary, thank you for joining. I'm adding the baby onions. You've missed the start, Hill, so you'll have to watch the replay, sorry. Okay, so then I'm going to start preparing the mushrooms. Normally I would use button mushrooms because they're just cuter in the sauce. But I have got some big mushrooms left over from the pizza the other night. So I'm just using those up. And I bought a few more today, the same size. So I'm just cutting them into quarters and the big, ooh, whoops, good catch, and the big one into 6. Okay, so they're ready to go in. Just have a bit of a clean up. So I've had a very busy day here today. Lots of appointments and rendezvous and running around. Daisy's not very happy with me because she's been home a lot on her own today. So she didn't really like that. We did manage it half an hour walk though, so that's okay. So I'm opening those, getting the wine ready. Can add the chicken stock cube. Just giving that all a good stir. Anyone got any questions? Cleaning up the bench. Don't forget to clean as you go. So tomorrow night I will make a pasta al forno with the leftover sauce while I can still eat, because then I can't eat any vegetables. Forgot how to find you was watching tomato soup. Yeah, I thought that might be the case because actually I forgot how to even record myself. I had to teach myself the whole thing again, and YouTube and everything. I've forgotten as well. So yeah, so what was I saying about the pasta al forno? Yeah, so that's a really nice recipe. But it might be at around this time again because I've got more rendezvous tomorrow afternoon. Right, this seems to be really slow for some reason. I don't know why. It's not cooking quickly. Okay, you can see I've just turned the chicken. Okay, and that's brown now, and all the onions are starting to melt down, and the lardons. Of course, the longer you cook this, the better, as always. I'm not going to have time though, otherwise the video won't download, so I'll give it a bit of a speed on. Daisy, are you okay? Daisy's asleep and salting. Okay, so I'm going to add the mushrooms. It's nice and brown now. Voila, they're all in. Get rid of that. So yesterday we only had 9,000 cases. That's the lowest number we've had for months. Could be just because it was Monday, but can always hope. So I'm sure everybody knows how to make a coq au vin, so it's not really teaching you much today. However, my auntie doesn't, so that's why I'm doing it. Any questions, please? Comments? Talking? I'm going to turn that on. I'm making cauliflower cheese after class for my takeaway tomorrow night. And some veggies for me because I have to clean out the whole fridge. Got today, tonight and tomorrow to eat all the vegetables because then I'm not allowed to eat any vegetables for 4 days. Isn't that fun? So that's why I'm not doing any classes later this week because I've already taught you how to make congee in Lockdown Kitchen 1. And I don't think teaching chicken noodle soups terribly exciting. So anyway, so I'll see you next week. Or tomorrow, then next week. Okay, just bringing that clean up. Okay, so that's starting to sizzle and cook away. So the next thing we do is we add the red wine and let that evaporate. And then the tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to put that in because we haven't got time. So, putting about a cup of wine in. And there's some left for me for tomorrow. Whoops. Goody goody. So you want that to start evaporating, not all the wine of course, but the alcohol to evaporate. Why no vegetables? Because I'm having a colonoscopy next Monday. So that's why I'm on a colonoscopy diet. So, can't eat anything except rice, pasta, chicken, fish. A couscous I'm allowed. It's totally different in France. I mean, in Australia the diet's completely different. In France you have to do it for 4 days. In Australia it's 1 day. And then you just don't eat for a day. So it's all a bit bizarre. And there's a lot of prep work to do. I've got about 6 appointments. So that's great fun. Okay, so that has started to evaporate. I will just show you. You can go like this and smell. You can, when you can't smell the alcohol anymore, it's evaporated. Okay. Okay, so I'm adding the tomatoes. And then a can of water. Okay, bringing that to the boil. Then we're going to put the lid on and simmer it for about 45 minutes to an hour. Okay, now you can either have your coq au vin like that, just as a straight sauce. I always like my sauces a bit thicker. So all you do is put a bit of flour in a bowl with some cold water, whisk it together, and then I'm just going to add that, just with some water like that, I'm just going to add that into the sauce like in the last 10 minutes of cooking, just to thicken it up. But just be careful when you pour it in that it doesn't go all lumpy. Make sure you're stirring the sauce at the same time you pour this in. Okay? And then you'll be fine. Okay, so that's all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed the class on coq au vin. Thank you all for joining. And I'll see you tomorrow for pasta al forno. Okay, bonne nuit. Au revoir.